Football, the Grambling State University Tigers are an HBCU powerhouse. How about 15 Black college football national championship trophies and 26 more for conferences titles? That's right. And they are some of the many accomplishments in the Grambling State University football history. During Swac Media Day 21, Grambling predicted order of finish third in the Western Division, 85 votes for GSU. Here's what Coach Broderick Fobbs tells me about Coach Eddie Robinson's G-Man legacy.
Hope you and the family and everybody in Grambling are well. Can you talk about that G in the middle of the field, the G on the helmet, and what that means to be a G-Man?
Well, for us, the G stands for greatness. It stands for graduation, and it stands for, just making sure that you be the type of person that you're supposed to be. We take the wholesome approach at Grambling, and the wholesome approach is about 3 pillars to success. The first pillar is achievement academically. The second pillar is achievement as a young man. But then the third pillar is academic achievement and success. And that's really what our focus is about. Without 3 pillars of success, moving at the same rate of speed, then the building will fall. So for us, we want to make sure that, that each pillar is progressing and each player is progressing in those fields of choice, and to make sure that they're successful.
National Football League training camps. The Jacksonville Jags ownership, front office, and coaching staff are in the process of rebuilding a winning football team. How about that? Jacksonville native Tim Tebow continues trying to make the Jags roster as the 4th tight end, or even by winning one of 3 tight end roster spots. In sweltering heat, the Jacksonville Jags training camp continues with fans in the stands. Duval, stand up. So far, the Jags are employing running backs by committee. Carlos Hyde, James Robinson, and rookie Travis Etienne Jr. out of Clemson, all getting carries during the workouts. The Jags dress out in pads on Tuesday. They are getting closer to full contact, pad popping, and tackling, folks. Here's what James Robinson had to say.
They always talk about having fresh players coming out, and I know once the season comes, having those fresh players is going to help out a lot. I mean, a big play happens, get a couple more, and then come out, and then go back in, and you can have another big play just by having fresh legs. So I think that's going to help out a lot.
All right, James Robinson with the Jacksonville Jags. Finally, it's time for our King of the Hill. From the Swac to the NFL, he is one of the greatest, and I mean greatest, running backs of all time. Check this out, folks. 190 NFL games played, 16,726 yards, and 110 touchdowns earned. Walter Payton, sweetness, is our B&C King of the Hill. Walter Payton was born July 25th, 1954 in the Golden Triangle, Columbia, Mississippi. Now, he passed on November 1st, 1999 back in South Barrington, Illinois. In the 1975 NFL Draft, Walter Payton was selected in the first round, 4th pick overall by the Chicago Bears, the monsters of the Midway, known as Sweetness, folks. Payton helped the Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl back in 1985, the Super Bowl Shuffle. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler and the AP 1977 National Football League Most Valuable Player. Payton, known as the greatest back in the history of the Jackson State University, and Walter Payton, sweetness, the running back, super duper Walter Payton is our B&C King of the Hill.
Okay, James, so here's a test for you. How did he get the name Sweetness?
Now, here's the thing. There was a gentleman, a fan, who would watch him play and admired him, and he said, this gentleman runs so great, every time I look at Walter Payton, I get a toothache because his running style is so sweet. I'm going to call him sweetness.
Oh, okay. So that's one story. Now, another story is it happened during practice. He was during a college all-star team, and the person that was running at him, he yelled out to the defender, "Your sweetness is your weakness."
Definitely, certainly a phenomenal player.
And a trash talker.
A trash talker.
Love that.
This guy was a hard-nosed competitor. If we go back to throw it back to 85 to the Bears Soldier Field, I mean, this guy was jumping over the pile, spinning in midair, doing flips, and he was definitely determined to make sure he could punch that ball into the end zone for the Bears.
Do you think it was before his time? Or was he right on time and just kind of paved the way for players that, you know, came behind him?
Great question. I'm going to say that his game is transferable and it was timeless. So if he was out there tomorrow or if he was in training camp now, he was a bruiser, so he could get it done. Definitely.
Love that. All right, Walter Payton, King of the Hill. I'm glad I didn't have to wait all week for that. I'm glad you gave it to me. Thank you, James. Always a pleasure. And we'll be right back after this short break with more BNC Live.